السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد. So I'm not going to talk about my topic. Just want to let you know ahead of time so everybody's okay with that, inshallah. It is a wonderful topic, but you know, in these kinds of opportunities, I'd rather get some specific messages across that I think are relevant to youth, that I don't get to talk about in other forums, inshallah ta'ala. So these 20 minutes, maybe at the most 25 minutes or so that I have, I'm going to talk about just some lessons from the Ashab al-Kahf. I'll just highlight some things and just discuss some things that I feel very strongly are missing in Muslim discourse, especially that has to do with our youth. The first thing I want to talk about is a cultural onslaught. The first thing we'll take from the people of the cave, Ashab al-Kahf, is that they drew themselves away from a dominant culture. They pulled themselves away. When they saw that it was overwhelmingly evil, and they had no way of escaping that culture, and actually the verdict was given that they were to be executed as a result of their faith, they pulled themselves out of that culture. And one of the most important things to draw from that for ourselves is until our life is in danger, we have to engage in society. It is only when their life was actually threatened that these young men left society, that they withdrew towards a cave because their actual lives were in danger. Muslims cannot have the attitude that we're not going to engage in society and somehow everything outside is a fitna and we have to protect ourselves and we have to shelter ourselves, and the only way that we're going to keep our faith is if we keep guarding ourselves totally, shunning ourselves from the outside world. This attitude actually means we've already accepted defeat. Because at the end of the day, that attitude, aim high. And so in these few minutes, I just want to talk to you practically about just a couple of groundwork, some basic foundational things that will help you aim high, inshallah ta'ala, and help myself aim high. As far as our religious, we don't even have an economically sustainable model for our own masajid, our own schools. That's because we haven't thought big enough. We have to learn to start thinking big. And we have to develop a work ethic for it. But the barakah, the blessings in that creative work will come when the foundation I talked about is already there. If your salawat are good, your worship is solid, your knowledge is increasing, and you're serving humanity, your mind will be in the right place, and Allah will put barakah in your business. Allah will put barakah in your entrepreneurial venture. And He will not let you become a materialist and a greedy capitalist. He'll make you a socially responsible entrepreneur that will make this country and inshallah the world a better place. And we're not just here to serve the ummah, we're here to fix the world. You have to think that big. You have to aim that high. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. And even though we are just at the end of the day slaves of Allah, and we are the lowest before Him, the closest we are to Allah is when we put ourselves the lowest on the ground. That's our humility to Allah. But when Allah gives you a gift, and Allah gives you intelligence, and Allah gives you an educational opportunity, and Allah gives you a creative idea, and Allah gifts you with a talent, and you say, I'm way too humble to exercise my talent, then that is not humility, that is ingratitude. That is ingratitude. You have to exercise your talents. You have to make the most of yourself. قُلْ كُلٌّ يَعْمَلُ عَلَى شَاكِلَتِهِ. Tell them everybody should work in accordance with their predisposition. Every one of you has a predisposition. You have a talent. You're good at something. Find out what that is and find out how you're going to use it to its maximum potential so you become a contributor to the world, not a consumer. Everybody else, their own goals, their own bank account, their own savings, their own fashion. Oh man, one day I'm going to drive that car. I'm going to have that kind of house. That's all they think about. We're going to say, one day I'm going to make people come out of poverty in this neighborhood. One day I'm going to transform the school systems in my town. I'm going to make this city a different place than it is now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you, I don't have time, my time's up, but I want to leave you with a really cool story. I was really floored and inspired by it. Last week, I met, 2 weeks ago actually, I met a brother in New Jersey at the American Muslim Consumer Conference. He's the mayor of Bergen County, New Jersey. And the mayor of Bergen County, New Jersey, alhamdulillah, is a Muslim fellow, young man, who actually prays Fajr every morning at the masjid. Alhamdulillah. And he, people at the masjid, of course, treat him like garbage because we're Muslims. But let me tell you something about him. I said, how did you win the election? When you're clearly brown, and you're openly super Muslim. He doesn't hide it, that he's religious and he's Muslim and he's conservative, etc., etc. And it's a majority, almost 90% is Jewish population in that county. It's a very heavy Jewish population. There's more synagogues there than the rest of New Jersey. So how did you win the election? He goes, I didn't win, I won twice. I was like, oh, sorry. First time 56%, second time 85% of the vote. I said, how did you do that? He said, well, I went into public service with the belief that I'm here to serve the public, my public. I have political views about Gaza. I have political views about, drone strikes. I have those views, and I openly state them, but I also openly state none of my political views matter when I am serving public office because I am here to serve you people. So I go to the synagogues, and I go to the businesses, and I go to the stores, and I go to the offices without the reporters, without a press release. I just walk in and I say, hey, how's it going? I'm the mayor of this town. How can I make your life better? I'm just here to serve because I want to see the city improve. And I'm just going to serve. And people see that for what it is, and I get the vote. I say, man, that is awesome. That's what a Muslim's supposed to be like. Ihsan, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to do it better than anybody else has done it. And I'm going to let my work speak for itself. No banner, no advertising campaign. He doesn't have to put up a whole advertising campaign that I'm a Muslim, but I'm not crazy. Please vote for me. I'm not like the other crazy guys. I wasn't, one of the 11 or whatever, one of the 19. I'm not one of those guys. He doesn't have to do that. He lets his work speak for himself. It's high time the Muslims stop crying that we're being stereotyped against. People assume things about us. They make fun of us. They say offensive things about us. They make films about us. It's high time now that our work speaks for itself. Our contribution to society speaks for itself. That will shut everybody else up better than anything else. Let the actions speak, and the words will be silenced themselves. I pray that you are the generation that makes us look back and say, MashaAllah, we did something right. We raised a generation that Allah put barakah in, and they were the entrepreneurs, and they were the pioneers of the ummah to come. Think big of yourselves and don't live petty lives. And when you get a sense of vision and direction in your young age, then your youth will be spent exhausting those energies in the right direction. Otherwise, you'll be people of PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360s and Facebooks and Twitter, and that's all your life will amount to. You won't be much after that. You'll just be a consumer. The biggest thing you're looking forward to is the next upgrade to the iPhone. Get over it. There's bigger things in life. You're here to do more important things. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.